Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video on my RandomStuff channel. And today I wanted to make a quick video on a nice piece of software that I've recently found, which I love. Now, you probably all know about text expanders. If you clicked on this video, you probably quite familiar with these kind of apps. These basically allow you to carry out text expansions using shortcuts. So there are several out there that I've tested, but there's a lot more. And the one that I've been using for the last few years is basically aText, the one that you see on the screen now. Now, there's so many others, and I've tested so many others, like for example, Textpander. You can see the pricing information there. You've got Raycast as well, and Alfred. This is all on macOS, by the way. The general consensus is that Alfred is better paid and Raycast is better when it's free. You can do all your snippets free of charge in Raycast, but you can't have the action delimiter at the end like a spacebar, which is what I want. At least I couldn't during my testing. Then you've got others, like TextBlaze, which they're really cool, but they're quite expensive. They want you to commit to like a subscription, which is not for me. I can't justify that for the use that I have. Then there are others like Keyboard Maestro that uses this fast spring that I haven't had very good experiences with this company here for their license. And then you've got PopClip, that's another popular one, recent one for Mac only. Then my second favorite is this one here, an open source one called Espanzo, created by a developer who manages it. It's fantastic. I would probably, I probably would have used this if I wouldn't have found Typinator. So, and by the way, for Espanzo, it's a little bit more complex, but I'll explain about that in a second. The one that I went for is Typinator, and the essence of this video is how I made my journey from aText to Typinator. So, just going back to Espanzo, my second favorite. Let me just go back to the page here. There you go. Espanzo is really cool. You will have to learn a bit of YAML format, and it's quite straightforward. As long as you've got a good text editor, you should be able to see the logic. And with the help of Chat GPT, I was able to create all of my snippets from aText in Espanzo, and I got them to expand with the space. But the GUI is not all that nice. It's functional, very powerful as well, but there are things that are missing, so it has a few shortcomings, and it's not got that nice sleek UI and intuitive usability that something like Typinator has. Also aText, to be fair, that's pretty sleek as well. So for any of you that don't know what I'm talking about with these text expanders, the way they work is that if you have, you create shortcuts for frequently used phrases or snippets. Now, these are automatically expanded into full text, including some of these applications that will do, rich text, HTML, and more. Things like scripting, dates, formulas, and so forth. When you type the abbreviation or the shortcut command that you have set, it will expand it accordingly. So, for example, if I load my aText, which is expired, and I'm not able to renew it, which I'll explain in a second, trial period is over. This is just, I've deleted all of mine now because I've moved over to Typinator, but as you can see, I've left some here to do the sort of the demo of what you would need to do to move from aText to Typinator. So, for example, a shortcut such as, a snippet such as thank you, it's just plain text, and it's basically here I've got TY1 and a space. So whenever I type TY1 and a space, it will expand to thank you in plain text. Now I can do rich text, I can do HTML, script, pictures. You can do all these things in Typinator as well. Okay, so in essence, if I have to sort of make a quick summary, Espanzo is the one that I would have gone to if I wouldn't have found Typinator. But my current expander app of choice, my daily expander app, is Typinator. Okay, so let me just give a brief introduction into why I'm in this situation at the moment. So for years, I've been a dedicated user of aText. I loved its simplicity, its effectiveness, its cross-platform, which is also quite unique. Most apps that I've tried are not cross-platform; they're either Mac or PC only. Espanzo is an exception to that. This is one of the reasons why I love that app so much, because I can use it on Windows as well. But as time went on, using aText, more and more frustrations came along, and things started to creep in. With a long history, which I don't want to sort of bore you with it. It's a bit long, but essentially, aText decided to switch their licensing system a few years back. I'm talking quite a few years ago. And when I purchased my lifetime license with them, I purchased it for that reason, and then realized that lifetime wasn't lifetime anymore. So that was very frustrating and annoying. But I had to buy the license on the fact that I was reliant on that application to do a lot of my snippets at work, making my life easier and be more precise in what I was doing. So I had no option to buy the license from them year on year, renewing it. As you can see, it's $4.99 for 1 year. Now, I wasn't happy with the support from aText over the years. They've never been very responsive. I've had some responses from them, but don't get me wrong. I appreciate that they're probably just a one-man band, or maybe there's just a couple of developers there, or who knows how many developers are there. But the thing is that waiting approximately 2 weeks for a response from them is I think quite reasonable, and I expect a reply from them within 2 weeks at least, especially as a paying customer, right? So this really made my mind up to move away from them, because whenever I tried to go through the system of paying, as you see here, you go through order now, you fill in all this, no matter what you do, no matter what I did, I wasn't able to actually go through with the payment. I even tried to buy for the whole year, and it just was not successful. It keeps going in a loop, telling me that I have to put certain, I have to use certain settings. But the point is that because of the lack of support, I wanted something that more sort of friendly, approachable team that will help. So I did try all these that you see here. Apart from TextPanda, I tried all Raycast, Alfred, TextBlaze. There's a few more that I tried as well. Keyboard Maestro I tried. Auto Hotkey on Windows I tried. PopClip. I did download the trial, but the ones that I really dedicated my time on were Espanzo and Typinator. Now, Typinator was the one that really hit the mark for me, right? So the accidental discovery for me in figuring out that Typinator was going to be the one for me was the fact that I stumbled across something which was quite unexpected. While tinkering around, I discovered a way to export my aText snippets as plist files. Now, when you select your snippets, like for example, if I choose, say, these 5, if I right click, I can export the selected items, I can export items with a password, or for macOS text substitutions, which I've never really used. That's basically to put them into your macOS settings, and then keyboard, your text expansions, text substitutions, that you can just import it in there. But I didn't really want to use that because I couldn't have the delimiter of a space the way I like it. At least I couldn't in my tests. So, and the GUI wasn't that nice, and I couldn't do dates, or I couldn't do a lot of things that I really would have missed from my 150 to 200 different snippets that I accumulated over the years. So essentially, it was a no-brainer. You know, Typinator is very similar. You know, it has got the capability of doing rich text format, formulas, dates, rich text, HTML. All of that can be done and more. So I decided, you know, to create this video just to let others know that they can switch from aText to Typinator, and the way to do it is with the plist file. Now, it doesn't tell you anywhere here that when you export to this format here, it will end up being a plist, but it does. So if I just do this now, as you can see, it's got a name of aText and the format is going to be plist. So once you export that, and I'll do that, I'll just save that onto my desktop and I'll replace it because I already done it before. And it just tells you, you know, drag and drop the exported plist into system preferences, keyboard, text, substitution list, which will work, but it won't have everything that I wanted. So it's not ideal for me. So let me just kill off aText for now. And I've got the file on my other screen. Moving on to what else? The actual importing, right? So let me quickly click on my Typinator at the top here, and these are all my snippets in here, but let me just go into the test import from aText that I just created a few moments ago. And if I go to action and I do import, sets, and then import, then I can go and pick it up from my desktop, and there you go. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. I selected 4, so I got 4 there. So as you can see, these are all, you know, pretty good and very functional. There you go. You got spaces there. You've got links. You know, I could actually modify it even more. I can go into formatted text. You know, I can do things like so I can click on things like Google. I can do Command K to put in a link, www.google.com. And then, you know, when I paste this into anything, so this is thank you very much. You can see the Google link there. If I just close that off. So if I just open a note here and I type thank you very much space, there you go. It's actually expanded everything the way I wanted, and this is a link that will take me to Google, as you can see there. So that's basically it. So, you know, in conclusion, you know, Typinator is great. You can you know, migrate from aText to Typinator quite easily. The Learning Center didn't have anything about this, and you know, when I contacted the support at Typinator, I dealt with a really nice lady called Catherine. So yes, Catherine was very helpful. Her guidance throughout the process has been invaluable. And also, you know, as a gesture of goodwill for my time in documenting and sharing my experience with them, you know, Typinator gave me a free license, which I was quite happy with. I would have purchased the application 100%. Okay, so lastly, before I wrap things up, I want to extend, you know, a huge thank you to the people at Typinator, especially Catherine. Her assistance and guidance throughout this process has been invaluable for me. As a gesture of goodwill for my time in documenting and sharing my experience with them, because they had told me that only CSV was the file format to use, which I wasn't, you know, happy in using, and I would have probably stuck to Expanso. So yeah, they were so kind that, you know, they gave me this free license, which I really appreciate. It was such a nice gesture, and I have noticed that since they've, if you look on the Learning Center section, and they mentioned it to me, they've added, you know, how to import your abbreviations from aText, following from a documentation that I sent them. So as you can see here, this is basically all the steps that I showed you. so you can try them out. So there's no reason why you can't go from aText to Typinator in a very quick manner without messing around with CSV files. So yeah, in conclusion, you know, making the switch from aText to Typinator for me has been probably one of the best decisions I've made. Really pleased. And you know, and if you're in the market for an expansion, you know, text expansion tool, you know, that just works, has a really nice GUI and, you know, user interface, should I say, you know, look no further than Typinator. I think the price is also really reasonable. You really can't go wrong. So yeah, so that's about it. I hope you've enjoyed the video and that it's been helpful to some of you at least. If it's helped one person, job has been done and accomplished. So thank you very much for watching. Until the next one, take care. Cheers. Bye.